Hey, what's up guys? Justin with AmericanMuscle.com and welcome to this installment of our Customer Build Series. The series of videos where we catch up with different customers from all over the country, chat about their Mustangs and their modifications, maybe what they like, maybe what they don't like, and ultimately give you guys some ideas for your ride at home. Today, I'm really stoked to be talking to Nick from California. Now, I actually know Nick's S550 GT through Instagram. He's done some really killer modifications, including one in particular that really separated his car from some of the others out there, and you'll see what I'm talking about in a second. Now, if you guys want to see more of Nick's car, including a complete list of some of his modifications, feel free to check out his build page, of course, back at AmericanMuscle.com, or if you're catching this on YouTube, let's go ahead and click on that link below in the description, and you can check that out. For now, let's see what's up with Nick. What's going on, Nick? How you doing, man?
Pretty good, man.
I gotta be honest, man. I mean, I follow you on Instagram. The car's super unique, so let's just get right into it and start up front. And I think the thing that really grabbed my attention at first was the addition of that grille, like the S197 fog light grille, into the S550. I mean, honestly, you're one of the first and one of the only people I've seen ever accomplish that. Talk to me a little bit more about like your inspiration for that, I guess.
That was like the first thing that I truly thought was like missing from the new design when the 15s first came out. I bought a 14 Boss 302 grill, wanted to change it up from the regular pony grill that I had. And I kind of started hacking it up and see if I can make it work. The original grill had the fog lights attached to the grill, and that created a lot of weight. So when I was taking the bumper off, it was actually like flexing the bumper a lot. On this version, I actually mounted the fog lights to the Whipple intercooler fans. Once I had everything mocked up and it was actually, I was like, I can make this work. That's when I went in and had it painted gloss black, just so it would match everything.
Up close, I'm looking at it and like, it looks legit. Like it looks like an aftermarket part. Like I would, at first glance, not be able to tell that you literally hacked up a Boss 302 grill and fit it behind your brand new MP Concepts GT500 bumper, huh? One more thing about that front end, the headlights are different. You went with the Raxium projectors, which I like because it's not like totally radical or changing up from the basic Mustang recipe, right? So what's your experience been like with those?
I love them. I do like the old ones, and in fact, I kept the old ones too, the Morimotos, and I always thought, you know, maybe I'll change them down the line. But I actually like the look of these ones a lot. It kind of keeps like the Mustang DNA.
It's nice. You can change your headlights based on what mood you're in, I guess. Well, we briefly mentioned the Whipple, so let's go under the hood. Obviously, you got a 2.9 Whipple on the car, and your Instagram handle is 757 Coyote, so obviously that thing's making 757 horsepower, right? That's kind of where that came from?
You know, it's funny though, because the kit is rated at 825 horsepower, but with our 91 octane California fuel, I know I'm not making anywhere near that.
That's awesome though, man. I like it, and you did it in red, which is killer, and then some of the other stuff that's custom under there too. You did the MMD, the rad extension covers, which I think really clean up the bay. Especially
with the Whipple intercooler and all the wiring I did for the fog lights, actually. You can see within those sides all the wiring that was sticking out, so that's kind of like a must that I had to get.
As far as suspension, we talked briefly before this, but it looks like you had the Ford Performance, the track handling kit suspension. That kit, I mean, look, we've been to Ford Performance, we've seen how like they outfit these Mustangs and how they build these kits, and I actually got to drive with one of their engineers who scared the crap out of me with that kit installed on an S550, so I know what it's about, but how are you liking it?
I like it a lot. In fact, that was the first modification I did, and I didn't want to do the classic mistake where I just ran a bunch of horsepower in on a stock suspension and stuff like that. So I figured it would be a good base if I just went out and got the suspension kit installed on, and I had a great time of it, naturally aspirated for the first couple of years, and then decided to go boost.
Well, you did it right, you know. It's just, listen, there's no wrong way, I guess, to mod, but I always, you know, encourage guys to start with brakes, start with suspension, make sure the car can handle the power, and then stop and then pour it on. Now let's talk about wheels and tires. I did see you had kind of an RTR thing going on with the car originally with the chin spoiler prior to the new bumper, but the one thing that is still on the car are the Tech 7s. Those things look sick, and you got the big fat NTO 5Rs out back.
I do, which before that I had Cut 2s on. It's funny going from that kind of like racing track tire to a drag radial. So my first drag radial was NTO 5Rs, and at first, the first couple of days, man, I did not like it at all. I felt wallowy. I felt like I couldn't take turns nearly as fast, but I started to get used to it now. So now I know, like, you know, you just have to like let your car handle. And
would you just blow through the Cup 2s even with, you know, that's a good tire, but like with the Whipple, it would just not hold it?
So first and second, it wouldn't hold it. I'm still running on the Whipple Tune, which I love because they have their own flight control software where I can pull power in each gear. So from like first to second, I have the power dialed out. And once I did that, the Cup 2s didn't have too much of a problem hooking up. I wanted to try a drag radio and see like what it actually feel if I just like, you know, were able to slam on the accelerator and just from full stop and see what I actually, you know, was able to do. I wasn't disappointed. I love the tires.
Well, let's move into the interior, because honestly, outside of the front end and obviously the Whipple, like the interior is probably my favorite part of the car, man. Like just next level. You had the Redline interior, I believe, but then you just like cranked it up even further. You did the digital dash swap. Was that hard for you?
It wasn't too big of an issue at all, but I love that thing. The digital dash was kind of like, I think a must-have interior for anyone that has like a 2015 to 2017.
For sure, man. It looks absolutely killer. I have one of my 19. I love it. I'm like, it's one of my favorite parts about that car, as silly as that sounds, and it totally leveled up your interior for sure. Now, what's up with the steering wheel now? Because I see you had like the airbag and the horn button wrapped. Is that custom, obviously?
Yeah, it was a custom job. I had a GT350R steering wheel, and then I found this guy on Instagram, and he did like custom leather work and upholstery work, and he did an airbag cover for a charger, an SRT charger, and it had like the same red stitching. And I was like, hey, can you make something like this? And it came out pretty well.
But the floor mats, you can kind of see, like, it looks like you got a diamond stitch pattern or something with the floor mats. Like,
yes, I do. I'm a sucker for like the leather and red stitching. I kind of want it everywhere.
Now, if you guys want to see more of Nick's car, including a complete list of some of his modifications, feel free to check out his build page, of course, back at AmericanMuscle.com. Or if you're catching this on YouTube, let's go ahead and click on that link below in the description, and you can check that out. What about future modifications, Nick? We kind of briefly talked about, you know, maybe a little bit more power or whatever, but is there anything like one thing that you really just kind of have your mind set on right now? In
a couple months, I'll be shipping the car out to Germany. So I'm actually doing some track preparation for the next couple months for this car. My goal is to take it on a Nürburgring. I think that'll be a lifelong bucket list check off for me.
Absolutely, dude. That's awesome. So what are you in the service?
Yes, I'm in the Air Force currently. I'll kind of mold over if I wanted to keep the car or not. It's, you know, it's getting up there in mileage, even though to me it's still a new car. And I decided to keep it. I wanted to get it track ready for the roads out there in the Autobahn.
Dude, that's awesome. You're definitely gonna have to throw those Cup 2s back on if you're hitting the ring.
Exactly, yeah.
That's amazing, man. Well, good deal. That's gonna be a lot of fun. I'm sure guys out there, listen, I know there's a lot of gnarly cars out in the ring and in Germany in general, but I'm sure you'll make a nice impression with that thing out there.
Yeah, for sure. I just hope I can keep it on the road.
Dude, the car is killer, man. I mean, obviously it's, you know, it sticks out to me because of the grill and now with the front end and everything, but it's got the power to back it up, and the interior is just like probably the most gnarly S550 interior I've ever seen. Well, listen, man, be safe over in Germany. Thanks again for your service for this great country, man, and yeah, try to keep it straight at Nürburgring, okay?
Yeah, I appreciate it, man. It's gonna be a lot of fun, that's for sure.
All right, guys, well, there you go. That was Nick and his awesome 2015 GT out from California. Again, I've been a big fan of Nick's car long before this interview, just based on that grill alone, and it's really cool to get the backstory behind it and how he actually built it. Guys, again, we hope you enjoyed this episode. I know I did. Hey, if you want to see more of his mods, including a breakdown of some of the stuff on his ride, feel free to, again, check out his build page back on the site, or again, just click on that link below. In the meantime, I'm Justin, I'm out of here. Thanks for watching, and for all things Mustang, keep it right here at AmericanMuscle.com.